So we need to talk about prompt engineering. So let me ask you this. Do you use ChatGPT to help you create professional looking email? Or maybe you use AI to help you summarize content? Or maybe you like to use AI to help you get rich quick? Or maybe you're a developer who builds applications using AI. The point is, if you use AI in any shape or form, then you are a prompt engineer. But I'm not making this video to tell you that you are a prompt engineer. I'm here to show you how to become really good at it. And in a moment, I'm going to reveal why it matters. Hello and welcome, I'm Tanvir. In today's video, I'm going to reveal step by step how to create killer AI prompts, and on top of that, I'm going to show you some advanced tips and techniques to help you enhance your prompt even further. And lastly, I'm going to share my entire prompt template with you on the house. So before we start, let's try to understand what is prompt engineering. So in simple terms, prompt engineering is the art and science of knowing how to tell AI what to do so it knows what you need it to do. Sounds simple, right? The good news is it's easy to learn. Anyone can learn. It's natural language after all. And the bad news is it's hard to master. But don't you worry, this video will bring you one, if not few steps closer to mastering your AI prompts. But I really want you to understand why it's so important to learn how to master prompt engineering. So think about it this way. If you ask a really talented chef to make you a meal, because he's talented, he's probably gonna make you a great meal, but you could be getting anything in the world. It could be any cuisine, it could be any type of dish. But if you ask the same chef that, hey chef, I feel like some tortilla espanola, maybe some olives and some cheese. So now you might be getting something really special that hits the spot. Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA, said that natural language is becoming the new programming language, and prompt engineering is how we wield that language. But that's enough waffling, let's get right into it. So I'm gonna break down the key components of a killer prompt that I personally use. And we're gonna use a real life scenario to do a comparison using a basic prompt versus a well-engineered prompt. So the scenario is that we run a online e-commerce store selling camping gear, and lately our sales have slumped and we are looking for some product ideas. So let's jump into ChatGPT for our demonstration. We're going to start with the basic prompt and see how this turns out. Now I'm using ChatGPT for this demonstration only, but you can really use any other model of your preference. So let's type in our basic prompt. Find me some good product ideas to sell online. And as you can see, it's generating a very basic response. It's vague, it's broad, it's not even related to our camping gear. And that is because it doesn't know much specific information. It doesn't have any context. Our prompt was just too generic. So let's try again, this time with a more structured and better prompt. Let's go. First up is context. I see a lot of people give a lot of instructions to their AI model and it does a pretty good job, but it's still not able to tailor the information or the output to the user's request. And that is because it's missing this one key element, which is context. It doesn't know your background. So let's add a context for our scenario. So I'm going to add, I run an e-commerce store for camping gear. Check out my website at snowies.com. I'm just making it up. Our target audience is hikers, trackers, and outdoor enthusiasts. Our sales have stagnated and we need fresh, trending product ideas to boost our revenue. Now this tells the AI exactly where you're coming from. Next up, a role. Believe it or not, AI models actually work better when it can assume a role. Think of it like a talented actor. So you can tell the actor to assume a role for a specific plot. So depending on your scenario, you will get different output if you ask the AI to assume a specific role. For example, if you're looking for some financial advice, you might want to ask it to act as a financial advisor. You might even get a better response if you tell it to act as an experienced financial advisor. But don't forget the disclaimer that anything generated by AI is not financial advice. So let's add a role for our scenario. So I'm going to act as a successful e-commerce store owner with expertise in sales and marketing, specifically in the camping industry. Now you're not just asking for ideas, you're asking for expert advice. Now tone is important if you're going to be using the generated output in a certain situation. For example, you might want to create a legal draft of a document, or maybe you just want to create a fun and casual speech for a wedding. So depending on your situation, you can define the tone. In our case, we're going to say, please maintain a professional tone since I'll be presenting these ideas to my business partners. Now you're not going to get any funny business unless that's what you want. Okay, tasks. This is probably the most important step out of all of them. AI models tend to get confused at times if the tasks are not very specific or well defined. So it is critical to make sure that you break down your task as much as you can and you give them step-by-step instructions so it knows how to execute them in a logical order. So once again, let's use a scenario and let's try and break down our task into multiple smaller steps. So I'm going to add research our website and current product offerings, then identify trending camping product categories, then generate a report with recommendations, complete with examples and rankings based on demand and viability. And finally, present the output in a table format with sections for reasoning and references. So you might have noticed how we actually told it to generate the output in a specific format. In this example, it was a table format. So for example, if you want the information to be presented in a specific format, for example, you need this in a PowerPoint or slides format, or you might need it in a document format, or you might need it in table format. And for the devs out there, you could even ask it to generate in JSON format, if that helps. So okay, constraints. So this is where you set the boundaries, define your no-go zones. For example, if you're building a customer service agent, you don't want the agent to break its positive, helpful character. You definitely don't want it to engage in political and religious discussions. And you probably don't want it to get pissed off by the Karens out there. So for our scenario, we're going to add, keep the research limited to camping products, exclude any snow related items, maybe because it doesn't snow where we are. So this will help keep the output focused and relevant. Examples are a great way to tell the model exactly what you're looking for. So if you've got an example of what you're looking for, it could be the tone, it could be the pacing, it could be the format, whatever it is. So if you've got a few examples handy, do provide it so it knows how to give you the best output. The more examples you give, the better. So for our scenario, I haven't got an example in this instance, so I'm just going to skip that. And the last key step is supporting documents. This is where you add any additional documents that you want to upload or any links to a specific website that you wanted to go and do some research. This will really give your AI model a lot more context, a stronger context to work with. You don't always have to do this, but if you have anything to add, please add that information here and that'll give you much better output. For our scenario, we don't have much other than our website. So I'm just going to tell it to reference our website for details on our current product lineup. So those are the core components of a great AI prompt. So now that we've got your individual prompts per key component, let's put it all together. So let's jump into ChatGPT and let's see what we get. Okay, so jumping back onto ChatGPT, we're going to paste the prompt that we just built and then click submit. So we can see straight away that it's done a bit of homework this time. So it's gone to our website to do a bit of a review. So we know that the output will be relevant to our website. Looks like it's already picked up that we're looking for camping trends and camping products, which is great. And as you can see, it's generated its observations based on what we offer. It's built a view on the type of business that we run so it can better personalize the output. And here is its research findings on the product categories that we might be interested in. And here are some recommendations with some ideas, even references, and the reasoning behind selecting them. And it's presented in a table format as requested. So now you see the difference between a generic prompt and the new prompt that we just built, which is not just a prompt, it's a comprehensive blueprint that guides the AI and tells it exactly what it needs to do. But as promised, we're going to kick it up a notch with some advanced techniques that every expert prompt engineer should know. Okay, so first trick is few-shot prompting. It essentially means to give the AI multiple examples so it knows how to give you the best output. So we spoke about this briefly before. See, if you're providing a single example, it's called one-shot prompting, but when you have multiple examples, it's called few-shot prompting. Chain of thought prompting is another key technique to keep in mind. We kind of touched it before where we broke down the tasks into multiple steps. This is the technique of breaking down complex tasks into smaller steps, and that really guides the AI through the process so it doesn't get lost in the middle. But get lost in the middle is a common LLM model phenomenon where information that's in the middle of the prompt tends to get lost. So it's always a good idea to structure your instructions in such a way so the more important instructions are towards the beginning and at the end of the prompt. So there are quite a few AI models out there with different strengths, and there are new ones popping up every day almost, it seems like. So whether it's ChatGPT's conversational style or Claude's ethical edge or Gemini's problem solving skills, it always pays to know which one fits your task best. So this one's for the devs out there. For example, if you're tapping into OpenAI's API platform, you can play around with the temperature parameter to balance the creativity and the precision. So basically, if you lower the temperature, you get a more factual, specific response. And on the other hand, if you increase the temperature setting, then you get more creative but less precise response. A lot of the times people just try one prompt and they might be somewhat satisfied with the output and don't try any other prompts, but try different prompts and play around and tweak the instructions and see how that changes the output. So especially if you're building an AI system, it's always a good idea to test different prompts, measure them, and iterate them until you find the one that works for you. So there you have it, your comprehensive guide to mastering AI prompt engineering. So remember, if you want AI to give you more than just spitting out generic responses, you need to really be specific in your prompts. And if you follow my guide and template in this video, you should get it right most of the time. So remember to always use context, define the role, set the tone, break down the tasks into smaller steps, and don't forget those constraints and the supporting documents. Feel free to pause the video at any time to get my template, or if you want, you can click on the link in the description to get a more comprehensive document. And if you found this video useful, do tune in again because I'll be creating more tutorials like this and everything artificial intelligence. Until then, thanks for watching, stay curious, and keep engineering those prompts like a pro.